Welcome back, everybody. This is the first week of official sports betting. But before I get to the sports bets, I need to address I already had to make a change in the rules. The change in the rule is the doubleheader rule. So if there is a doubleheader, most likely in the MLB, those games are exempt. They're exempt because it's difficult to see what game I'm betting for on this app, and it changes the dynamic of the game. You know, it could be only seven innings. Lineups could be changed. Doubleheaders just mix things up a little bit. But my official starting point with money is 289.2 thousand. So that's the magic number. We want to see each week if I gain money or lose money. This week the magic number is 289.2K. And with that, I'm going to start with the sports betting. As you can see, I am a Detroit Tigers fan. I'm repping their merch right now. But someone told me you need to, when you're sports betting, you need to bet with your brain, not your heart. So I'm taking the Guardians over the Tigers. And the reason for that is last time out, Tanner Bibee versus Reese Olson, this matchup has already happened. Bibee gave up 4 runs and only lasted 4 innings. But the Guardians' bullpen was able to shut out the Tigers, and the Guardians ended up winning 5-4. I expect a more productive and efficient outing from Bibee, and the Guardians should pull it off. The Tigers' offense has been too inconsistent, and even last night, the Tigers were not able to pull off the comeback victory. They had success against the bullpen. I just don't see their offense staying consistent and getting the same output. So pick number 1, Guardians over Tigers. Pick number 2, this is technically an underdog pick, but it's so close, it really, I don't consider it an underdog. If we want to get technical, this is one of 2 of my underdog picks. I'm taking the Yankees over the Rays. Zach Eflin held the Yankees to 3 hits last time he faced them. As of late, that performance is a rarity from him. He has not been pitching efficiently from the mound. He is giving up an average of 6 hits a game in his last 5 games. The Yankees are ranked 2nd in home runs, and they can turn those hits into home runs and really open the gap in this game. So for that reason, I'm taking Yankees over Rays. Next pick, Orioles over the Cubs. The Cubs' best chance is the long ball against Corbin Burnes, who has given up 5 home runs in his last 5 games, but the Cubs are only 23rd in home runs, so the chances of that happening are slim to none. With that, Burnes is 2nd in ERA, so even though he's given up 5 home runs in his last 5 games, it hasn't hurt him too bad. The Cubs would need to get base runners on and then hit home runs. I don't see that happening. Orioles over Cubs. Next up, the Padres over the Mariners. This is the only stat I looked for, and I think it's the only stat I need. Moneyball has proven that on-base percentage translates to runs. The Mariners' on-base percentage is ranked 26th in the MLB. The Padres is 6th. The Padres should pull out against the Mariners. Next up, I'm taking the Phillies over the Dodgers. To me, it's a toss-up. Even though the Dodgers lost 10-1 in a blowout game last night, the Phillies and Dodgers are close. They're both great teams, great competitive teams in the MLB. They should make it far in the postseason. I still see the Phillies winning. Their offense is just slightly more productive. Next up, the Astros over the Marlins. That pick is pretty self-explanatory. The Marlins have been struggling. The Astros have not. Now this is my true underdog pick. I'm taking the Colorado Rockies over the Cincinnati Reds. Kyle Freeland is catching his stride. Pitcher for the Rockies. Kyle Freeland. In his last 5 starts, he has pitched 19.2 innings. He has 3 earned runs and only 2 walks. So his ERA is inflated compared to the last 3 outings. He's starting to catch his stride, and and Cincinnati is only 27th in batting average. Freeland gives up a lot of hits, but the Cincinnati Reds have not taken advantage of opportunities to turn anything into hits. 27th in the MLB, that's low. The Rockies are also yet to beat the Cincinnati Reds, so the law of averages says that the Rockies are due. However, that's also the gambler's fallacy. So, I'm still taking the Rockies. Next up, excuse me, Red Sox over the Oakland Athletics. The Athletics are 27th in on-base percentage and 28th in runs scored. Plus, J.P. Sears has been shaky. Meanwhile, Boston is 9th in on-base percentage, 13th in runs scored. Oakland is also 23rd in ERA, while Boston is 7th. Boston is just an all-around better team. Boston should win this one. It was a close game, well, closer than expected last night, in my opinion, but the Red Sox should win again. Next up, the New York Mets over the Washington Nationals. Patrick Corbin gave up 6 runs last time against the Mets. Severino gave up only 1. This is another pitching matchup that has already happened. The Mets are also 11th in on-base percentage, and the Nationals are 9th. So the matchup, Severino should win the starting pitcher matchup, and then everything after that, the Mets are more efficient at getting on base than the Nationals. So for that reason, I'm taking the Mets. Now next up, I do not like betting against Paul Skeens. I don't think anyone does, but I am still taking the Milwaukee Brewers over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Paul Skeens is the Buckeyes' only hope this game. He's their only hope. But with that being said, Tobias Myers has been pitching very well, and the Brewers' offense is much more productive than the Pirates. I just don't see Paul Skeens can only do so much. I don't see him going 9 innings in this game. The Brewers have been very good on offense, and the Pirates are going to be overmatched. Next, the Texas Rangers over the Angels. The offenses are very close. This was a hard game to choose. It was kind of a toss-up for me. However, Michael Lorenzen is on the mound, and I think that's the difference maker. Lorenzen has the edge over Griffin Canning. So it's going to be based on starting pitching performance. Next, the Atlanta Braves over the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Arizona Diamondbacks offense is more productive than the Braves. That's a fact. The Diamondbacks have been batting very well this year. However, Charlie Morton is on the mound for the Braves, and he has been pitching well. Also, the Braves are facing Slade Sassoni. He gives up lots of runs. The Braves, although they are not as productive offensively as the Diamondbacks, the Braves will take advantage of poor pitching. The Braves' offense is efficient, and facing Sassoni, they should have a heyday against him. Not to mention, the Diamondbacks are also 28th in earned run average. So after Sassoni is off the mound, it should not get much better for them. I see the Braves coming out over the Diamondbacks. In the final bet of the day, I am taking the San Francisco Giants over the Blue Jays. This is a very close pitching matchup. The Blue Jays are 22nd in ERA with 4.33, and the San Francisco is 25th with 4.44. But San Francisco is 14th in runs, and the Blue Jays are 25th. So the Giants are better at getting runs. And that's what it'll come down to. Their offense should do better. I'm feeling really good about the picks this week. That could change in a couple hours, but I'll keep you posted. Next week I'll have all the results out and another round of betting.